Welcome back, everybody. Today I want to talk to you about my thought process on the pre-ordering of Temporal Forces, and if I don't pre-order it, what I'm going to do after release when there are potential sales. Before I begin, though, has anybody been playing Power World? It's a lot of fun. I know there's some controversy with people saying it's like Pokemon and all that, but in the end, it's a really fun game. Let me know your thoughts down below. Now, let's get to the main crest of this. This is going to be your secret rares. This is my favorites from Wild Force and Cyber Judge. We got our Deerling. We got a Snom here. It's going to be really cool. Hopefully that comes over exactly as is. I'm excited for this set. It's going to be really cool. I know people are saying like they're basically forgetting about Paldean Fates, but there's a lot of happiness and excitement for this, and that's just the nature of things that happen with these sets, right? It seemed like Y Schwarz, for anybody that's out there with Y Schwarz, we see it in Japan first, then it comes over to English. But in the meantime, right, there's another Japanese set that comes out, and now we're looking at that. So you have people like attentions going back and forth through different things. But tension wise, we're going to be paying attention here to booster boxes, ETBs, and Pokemon Center ETBs. That's what I mainly focus on. I know there are other products out there, but with those other products, I only pick those up if there is a promo inside of it that I actually care about. Other than that, I just don't even think about it at all because mainly what I look for here are your Pokemon Center ETB logo cards because this is one of those ones that there is an advantage to buying the PC ETBs over the other ETBs. It's the art, I guess you could say, the usability of these cards inside of here. So I know there's a lot of controversy lately about people and these logos, right? Like even the GameStop logos, Best Buy's limited versions. So what you have in here, and one of the PC ETBs is the Flutter main. The other one will have the Iron Thorns on there. We'll see if the Pokemon Center logo means anything. Now, before I begin here, I did a video doing the exact same thing here for Silver Tempest. At that time, I basically said, I'm going to buy some of each, and that's scaled based on the budget that you have to spend. So let's say you had $1,000. You're not just going to blindly take $1,000 and divide it over the three different products. What I said I was going to do is I was going to buy a higher percentage of booster boxes because packs are what people actually want. That's what you're going to want in the future. It's nice because these booster boxes are a lot more compact than your ETBs. I'm going to buy a mid amount of regular ETBs, especially if they show up at $28. Remember, this is Silver Tempest, not one of these newer sets. So that's where I got the price out of there for. And then also, I'm going to buy a few Pokemon Center ETBs because it's supposed to be a limited print number that comes out there, limited to how much they can actually sell. But no, it's not always like it's going to keep getting reprinted over and over again, like potentially 151. But there will be some sort of limit on it. Or if not, it's just going to sit there in the Pokemon Center one day until they print out more Van Goghs to trick you into buying more of these ETBs. I'm saying a lot of things that maybe shouldn't be actually said, but I'm going to move on. So I went and looked at the Scarlet and Violet booster boxes, ETBs. We're going to take a look real quick. I'm going to go in depth on the first one and then just real fast through the next three. So the original booster box showing up here on TCGPLAYER as of January 21st. $90 is what it's going to cost you to get. Interesting enough, there were two sales as of today for $105 when you could get it for $90. Don't know what happens there. That happens all the time. Not really sure. That's, I guess, just for fun. Or maybe someone has a favorite seller that they buy through. Now, ETB's Miraidon, this is going to be showing up for $37.85. What you're going to notice here about the sales history between the booster box and the ETB is you're going to have less sales on these. But when you get to the Pokemon Center ETB, you're going to have even less sales, and that it makes sense because you have a low-cost version of an ETB. You have a more expensive Pokemon Center one with a logo card inside of it, and it has two more booster packs in it. Is that enough to say to somebody, are you going to buy this for $80? If you don't want the logo, then you're not going to buy it. You're going to buy the regular ETB. That makes the most sense. The packs will potentially cost lower than what it would cost to buy this version of it. And the difference, because that is, like I said, the logo card that's showing up here, the Miraidon anyways, for $22. And as you can see, the sales history is not as robust. The sales on the screen go from January 6th to January 17th. So only 6 in that short period of time. I know it's a short period of time, but even then, it's not like people are coming on here this thing and trying to buy it every day. Now, with the Koraidon version of the regular ETB, that's showing up for $30. I want you to keep all these prices in mind on like what would you do if you know all these prices, what you're gonna do for Temporal Forces. Right, this ETB does have some sales volume, like I mentioned, around the $32 mark. But with the Pokemon Center ETB, this thing is roughly under, let's say, $60 on that, and less sales do occur on it. This Pokemon Center logo version is $14 currently. It's not a fan favorite for sure. That's not what people wanted. Now, moving on to Paldea Evolved, the booster box is showing up here for about $103. The regular ETB, $34.70. And the Pokemon Center exclusive ETB, look at that, just a little above $80. That's the one with the Pikachu card, and I'm pretty sure with Pikachu in there with the logo, yeah, people like that. Next one is Obsidian Flames. This is currently sitting at 107. ETB regular will be about $39, and the Pokemon Center version 68. And I don't know, I haven't looked in about 2 weeks if that's still sitting there at the Pokemon Center, but it's been there for quite a while because, you know what, it's a Charmander, so let's just have a ton of supply of this stuff and hopefully people buy it. Again, let's just print out a Van Gogh. People will buy it. Next is your Paradox Rip booster boxes. You can see that showing up at $93.97. The reason why this is the whole screen is because of this. There are two ETBs. I hate these sets with two ETBs, by the way. I don't like that. I just want one ETB. That would be really nice. So you have two in here. The regular one's showing up at $72.45 if you get both of them, so roughly $37 each. With the Roaring Moon one on the left from the Pokemon Center, that is about $58. The one on the right for Iron Valiant is $66. So what does this all tell me? After looking at all that, right, you can see overall the booster boxes hold up to their value. The Pokemon Center ETB with the logo version anyways, pretty much hold up on their value, though there's less. It's the worst sales of the three, like how often you actually sell it, the frequency, right? The regular ETB, that tends to drop down in price. That's where we've been seeing a lot of the sales happen at, in the $30 region, right? I've seen booster boxes on sale in the 80s. I think they might have been some in the 70s, but that's few and far between, I think. So what I'm going to be doing with my money is I'm going to be buying the bare minimum of booster boxes and Pokemon Center ETBs. And I know right now, currently, if you think about it, Pokemon TCG, there's just a ton of supply, right? And that's why these sales are happening. People are buying a bunch of it, and demand is not there as much. People are playing Power World, people are playing One Piece. You know, there's just a ton of stuff happening right there in the market. I know Power World just came out, but still, there is not as much as demand, but they're printing just, I wouldn't say just as much, but they haven't leveled off yet. So why I say the bare minimum is because you don't want to be caught with your pants down. You want to just go ahead and purchase, me personally anyways, I'm going to talk about me. I'm going to purchase the bare minimum knowing there is a potential that sales will be coming in the booster box and the ETB region. The Pokemon Center ETB, that's never going to change unless the secondary market buys too much of it and puts it on TCG Player for like 40, 50 bucks. Do you think that's ever going to happen? You know, just looking back at what I just showed you, do you think that will ever happen? If you think so, then don't buy them. You know, wait for that to actually take place. So for me personally, there's gonna come a day, maybe not Temporal Forces, maybe it's a set after that, that they are going to fix their supply. And if you buy zero and you wanted one, two, three, four of these things, and that sale never comes, what are you going to do then? So I think the main thing to do is buy what you're happy with, knowing that there's a potential for sales. So save your money. And then if that does come up, you're ready. You got your powder dry, as they say, and you're ready to pick it up. So what I'm going to be doing before release for pre-order period, I'm going to be looking for places that have these booster boxes for under $100. I know some people buy it way higher than that. There are places that will sell to you lower. After release, I'm going to be looking in the 80s. You may pop on some social media, find a coupons in some places, and magically it costs less than that. But realistically, that's what I'm going for. Because there's something that someone is on social media say. They're like, I'll just wait till the sales when they happen in the $80. And it's like, do you could wait. Let's say it does actually occur for Temporal Forces, but how long does it take to get there? Do you actually want to have this on release weekend to open for yourself? Do you want the potential for other people to have touched that booster box, right? So let's just say anybody out there, like you have a choice to buy a new game or a used video game, right? Like back in the day when there was like physical copies. You could buy a new game for $60, or you can get a used version of a fairly new one for, let's say, $50. Which one do you get? Some people definitely go for the $50 ones. There's people like me that will go for the $60 new one. The reason why is because I like keeping my video games, right? I have a drawer full of video games back over here. And I like knowing that my instruction manual is not all destroyed, that it's not sticky on the box from glue or whatever the heck else may have happened. Someone spilled Coca-Cola all over it, right? I just want a new copy for myself. When you buy these things on sale, how many months was it that went by that it was in the $80 range? How many people touched it? I want mine to be in fairly nice condition overall, right? I don't want the one that got dropped on the side. I mean, that could happen with new ones too, but you get my point. All right, the next thing I'm going to be doing is buying some PC ETBs. The reason I'm going to be doing that is because these are almost always limited in quantity unless they decide to print a whole crap load of them and just sits there forever. But in general, I would rather have them knowing that I'm going to get them versus, hoping that they reprinted. I don't want that feeling that I may never get it and have to hope that they do anything like the Van Goghs. You can always hope for that. And lastly, the ETBs, I'm only going to buy them if they drop into the 33s and below. I know that is a little far-fetched, but if you think back to what I just showed you with some of these ETBs, I'll just show you right here, right? You have these in the 30s. You have this one right here, 38. You have this one, Paldea Evolved, 35. And then we have, here we go, the Koraidon, right? $30. So that seems very realistic that that could happen. And do you really want to be sitting around with purchasing these on pre-order for a pretty high amount? I think that's a feels bad. But again, buy the bare minimum that you're going to be happy with, that in case it doesn't go on sale, then you're not upset that you didn't buy it. But, save some money on the side. If you have any questions, if you have any comments about this, you think I'm totally out of my mind, or you agree with me, please let me know down below. But as always, have fun, be happy, and don't spend anything outside your budget. Have a good one.